Top five, top five, top five.
So I'll go back with another video. I'm Strange Wanky. As Nate today, we're doing top 5 family films for the Netflix film Yesterday. And yes, you probably haven't heard that movie either, but it's the only movie coming out this week, so that's what we're doing on a topic on family films, because this Yesterday film is a family film. Tell them how the video works.
So he's going to give his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, we won't talk about it until we get to it on their list.
My number 5 is Home Alone.
That is a slight Zemeckis.
Slight Zemeckis, alrighty. My number 4 is The Addams Family.
That was like my number 6.
I really fuck heavy with the Addams Family.
Yeah.
It's not your typical, traditional Addams Family story, but that's okay because unlike most people, I really like that because it's a good way to get exposition out and how the family works and operates because you have to re-show Uncle Fester all this stuff.
Again.
I like stuff that's creepy and kooky and that scares me.
Seriously spooky?
Yeah, seriously spooky. That's scary that doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
And this is it. So I watched this a ton as a kid. So and it's a family. Like, I had to make the list.
Yeah.
And like these lists are like pretty subjective, and like sometimes in this list our viewpoints bleed into these lists. So
Well, I mean, it's our fate. Like, I feel like we always forget to preface this until like halfway through the video. These are our personal favorites, not like objectively the best.
yeah, that's my 4.
Cool. So my number 5 is going to be The Sandlot. What a classic.
Solid.
What a classic. The reason I made my number 5 is because, like, so I was trying to think, like, I was really trying to, like, grasp onto the family aspect of it. I also, for my list personally, excluded all animation.
Same.
So, all live action. And so I tried to grasp onto that family concept. And, like, there's going to be some families out there. Well, so family means all ages, right?
Yeah.
There's some, like, slight, tiny little things that I wouldn't care at all about my 3 or 4-year-old scene in The Sandlot, but I know that there are some people who would.
What?
There's like 1 or 2 cuss words. The kids also do tobacco.
Who cares? I've been selling crack since the 5th grade.
Squint's kind of assaults a girl, but like,
They get married.
yeah. Well, listen, I'm not complaining about it because it is in the context. It's not a habit he should make.
Clearly. No debating.
But it is some like little kid.
Definitely not.
It's some little kid hijinks, right? So
In 3
yeah.
years, can't pull that off.
But it's still a super wholesome movie, and also the reason I put it at number 5 was because like the concept of like it's all centered around baseball, right? So like that's not going to appeal to like all families. But my number 4 is one of my like if I was being completely objective, it would probably have been my number 1. But, you know, I still, like, I brought myself down a little bit. So number 4 is going to be Hook.
You made yourself sound so pretentious.
and then I said Hook. Yeah, first of all, Spielberg. Second of all, 90s Robin Williams.
My number 3, and this is where it's like very subjective for us. My idea of a family is people like you.
Aww.
People that choose to be in your life and you choose to be in their life. Sometimes families like, oh, it's my brother, I gotta go help him. And some movies are like that.
A choice I have to make every day.
And some movies are like that. But family to me is people that want to be in your life and you have a common bond with. Because like sometimes with families, y'all motherfuckers ain't got nothing in common.
That's true.
And then that's just boring as fuck.
Yeah.
So my idea of a family as my number 3 is mid-90s. If I fuck with you heavy, like if I really, really like you and really fuck with you, I'm like, you gotta go see mid-90s. Because they are like a little family and their relationships are going to grow. Like you see the beginning of it, but those seeds are already there. Like Ray and fuck shit, they're brothers basically.
Yeah.
And he says it, he's like, I love this dude. And I hate so much he's fucking up his life. And those are real things that you have to deal with, that you will stick around with your friends that you love that much, that you think of them as family. Like, you're fucking up your life. Like, come on. Like, and you will go through that with them. And if I really fuck with you, I'll show you this movie. Like, I saw it 3 times in theaters just because I was like, I'll fuck with you, we gotta go see this movie. You being one of them. I think the second time I saw it with you, or it might have been Brian, but you two were definitely 2 of the guys I went to go see it with. And there's probably some of my friends watching this right now like, damn, he don't fuck with me. He ain't show me this movie. But, it's a level thing, It's like you pass a test, I'm going to show you some gold. And Mid-90s to me is gold. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it sums up how I view you as a person. I love you this much that you could be fucking... Well, it's probably the other way around. I'll be fucking up my life. But I usually get out of things really easy. So, it's just...
After someone tells you how to do it.
It's like a gift. It's like my gift of like a friendship of, hey, we're more than just friends. We're family.
Yeah.
I love you that much.
I love that. Maybe belonged on a list of a different kind of family film.
No!
My number 2 has family in the title. It's Instant Family, which is a very surprising movie. I was like, this movie got like a 90-something% of Rotten Tomatoes, and it's at Best Buy for $10. I guess I'll buy it. And I was like, I just bought this. I'm bored tonight. Maybe I should watch it. And I watched it. It's like, holy shit. They say something like, so it's about like an adoptive family, like they're adopting kids, and
I know what it's about.
So like, but like I gotta set the context. So these adopted Spanish kids are with these rednecks, and they're saying racial slurs, and the little girl is like,
"Don't talk back, you little beaner." Oh.
But she learned it from that family, and it's like it would take those chances, and it's not scared to take those chances. Which is, I love, because I find that shit funny as fuck, because it shows how stupid the other person is, because that's how they spin it, and like everything from Blazing Saddles to this to like whatever you can think of, you gotta spin it that way for it to be funny. And it's such a like weird, odd situation that I could see a comedian telling this as a joke, and it working. And to me, those jokes work, and you still have that family dynamic of these kids that are adopted come into your life and being your family and whatnot, and you feel the love, you feel the relationships inside, and you feel the connection, and it warms your heart like most family movies do.
What else?
So my number 3 was the Slight Zemeckis from earlier, and it's Home Alone.
You can only watch that movie at Christmas time if you ask me.
I disagree, and so I thought about it real hard because
I watch in July and stuff.
Well, I was doing like research for this list. And like when you said do family films, Home Alone was just like immediately Hook and Home Alone, like the first one that made my list. First movie that popped in my head. And honestly, what made me, like I said, I wanted to steer away from like holiday films. But honestly, what made me switch to put on my list was I was like, well, could I go home and watch Home Alone right now? And I was like, yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to. And what also made me go ahead and put it on the list was the conversations that we've had a lot this past Christmas season about like whether or not Home Alone is even technically a Christmas movie.
Well, which is why it made my list.
Yeah, mine too. And I think I finally nailed my answer in, which is yes, it is a Christmas movie, but it definitely didn't have to be. Because I 100% agree with your point in that Christmas does nothing to really drive the plot of that film. The parents could have been going away for anything. But it obviously is. But anyways, yeah, literally, anyone can enjoy this movie.
That's a fact.
In terms of like family stuff, like there's little kid, like physical humor, like you have a kid protagonist that they're going to relate to. The adults are going to identify with like adult characters, and there's still some like really subtle things that adults are going to pick up on a little bit more.
They're going to laugh at
everything because they're kids.
Busting their ass
and they just did such a good job of setting like the perfect tone for that movie to where like it really does. That movie just like it keeps anyone's interest regardless of age group the whole movie, and it's about family and the importance of family, and like it's just really heartwarming. That movie's got a lot of heart.
You basically said everything about it. Like that movie is so funny that anyone can love it. But like, why it was my number 5, like you, I was like, Christmas movies and cartoons shouldn't count, animated movies, whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. But I don't see that movie as a Christmas movie. But when the majority of people watch it, I feel like a lot of people tradition. So they save that movie just for Christmas. I don't know. I don't celebrate Christmas. I think that shit's whack too, but I don't think Home Alone's whack. That's a great movie, which is why I made my top 5. And that's why it's in the thumbnail. But that was your number 3 and number 2?
All right, so my number 2, I kind of cheated a little bit in that I took multiple movies. I'm thinking about dropping it down to 1 now.
Okay.
Because I thought about it more, and I meant to change it on my list, but I didn't. So when I wrote it over, I didn't.
The first one almost made my list.
Yeah.
That shit's magical. No pun intended.
Right. So I almost just went ahead and took the whole Harry Potter franchise. The reason I backed down is because halfway through 4 and through the rest of the series, that shit gets pretty dark. So I'm going to knock it down, and I'm just going to take the Sorcerer/Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you're from. Because you're correct. That is just one magical movie.
That's some Steven Spielberg 1980s type shit,
oh
bro.
my gosh. Like, if Spielberg, don't get me wrong, I think Chris Columbus did a phenomenal job with the film. I really would love to see Spielberg direct it. Throwback to a really old video of ours.
The first video.
But the more I think about it now, I'm like, but what if he Spielberged it up too much, but I don't think he would have. Regardless, what we have is a wonderful family film. If you are from a family that thinks that it's wrong to watch that movie because of some bullshit religious reasons, coming from someone who is quite religious and grew up in a religious family, that's dumb, because there are so many Christian metaphors in these films. It's not even funny. Anyways, I only mention that because we are referring to it as a family film. So let your kids watch Harry Potter. If you're a kid and your grandma wouldn't let you watch Harry Potter, go watch it. It's not wrong.
Personal experience.
It's completely okay. No, my family was chill.
When you say grandma,
my mom was just like, he's reading a book. Oh my God, thank you.
Things Mama Wang has never said for 300.
Right. So, but yeah, man, getting those performances out of child actors, building the world the way it does, adding that. I mean, so I think what I love about this is that it kind of has a little bit of both types of family, right? So it has your family, that you're born into family, and the importance and how that, or in his case, not having that growing up, or having a really crappy one growing up affects you. And also the importance of chosen family, which is what you're talking about. And this movie has it all, man. And it's just a really good movie.
Side note.
I like how you said Steven Spielberg might Steven Spielberg it up too much.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, if I had to pick Steven Spielberg to direct one of these movies,
yeah,
I think Chris Columbus does such a good job. I mean, you can leave him at that.
Yeah.
But you look at Indiana Jones type films, I'd rather see him do 4, 5, 6. One of those. Where
the darker ones?
Peeking into the dark, but you still have that magic. I think he would have knocked one of those out the park, Jack.
Yeah, probably.
But my number 1 is a little film you showed me, and it is Little Miss Sunshine. Same reason. Hey, listen to the logic. The same reason why Roseanne was one of the most popular shows of all time, and then came back, and you talk about stuff that had a big gap, came back and was still the most popular show at that time. And then she said some crazy shit. She was doing Percocets that fucking my uncle sold her or whatnot. And then now it's just the Connors. And people still watch it. But that's a real life family and people can relate to it. Little Miss Sunshine, real family, people can relate to it. Just because there's 5 people in your family doesn't mean every person doesn't have something else going on in their life that they think is the biggest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. And when it goes wrong, they think the world's ending. And this is what that movie is. Yeah. It's got a lot in it. And I love that. Steve Carell, he isn't trying to be funny, and it works. Very good dramatic performance. The grandpa's the best. The parents, me being young, I'm still damn, it's fucking hard to be parents. And I think as a child or even as a teenager, you can see that, even though you might be, you're probably speaking, but you might be like the son in the movie, moody teenager, but you still speak. His case, he didn't speak. He was, I don't know what.
Well, he did eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Or you could be like the little kid.
He took a vow of silence.
A lot of parents say fuck in front of their children.
That's true.
Except for your parents. You have weird ass parents.
Oh, yeah, never.
They barely let him watch Harry Potter.
Oh, there's a reason they don't even know about this channel.
$20. I'm sending them the link. But yeah, you know, it's like, this is a real family. And at the end of watching this movie, I really had my heart. Like, I felt the emotion in my heart.
It was a really heartwarming movie.
And when I watched when I was a little kid and I was watching family movies like fucking Hook or Sandlot or the movies that are on your list, I was like, damn, that shit hit me right here. I'm a little kid, I'm gonna play with some toys now. But this shit, it stuck with me. It's like, damn, I understand everybody's point of view. Because either I've been that person, I'm their age, or above their age. Because, like, the person I related to the most was a grandpa, and there's a big age gap. But I relate to all the characters in this film somewhat. And I think as a family movie, I think that's important. Because it's like, damn, I got shit going on, but you got shit going on too. And I can help you with your stuff, and you can help me with mine. Because that's what a real good family does.
Fucking right.
Yeah. I like that more than mid-90s. It's still...
But mid-90s is like
still does not super
a goal,
fit.
though. I don't give a fuck.
It fits on yours, and I love that. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, you
should-
say family film.
You should have showed me the movie.
You are obviously talking about a specific...
Was Roseanne not, like, the greatest, like, at that time?
I didn't hate Roseanne.
But I'm talking about culture. Like, you look at the charts.
Yeah, it was really popular.
Yeah. This movie, if it had, like, a bigger, wider release instead of being a smaller independent movie, this movie would have made a ton of money.
I disagree.
If this came out on Netflix right now,
Those
people
kinda-
would fuck heavy with this movie.
Those kind of movies, and you know, like good movies, they just don't like. Those aren't the kind of things the general public latches onto.
I think it would latch on.
And that's a whole separate conversation. I still like The Pick because that movie really is about like family. I mean, it's literally about the whole family putting everything that is important to them to the side, eventually throughout the film to like get the youngest one. Like, because they don't want her to give up on life the way they all have, right?
Yeah.
And like that's what the movie's about, is like trying to protect. Like,
but in between, they're working on their own
hope.
shit together, and like
yeah,
that shit's
there's so
dope,
much
too.
healing happens in that movie, in like strange ways, but beautiful ways. I love that movie. Now I want to watch Little Miss Sunshine. Anyways, my number one. I thought about it a lot, and I don't know why. It just seemed right as the number one, and I went with Holes. And
Solid pick.
yeah, I think so too. And the reason is, I think it's just because of like that movie actually has some layers to it. Like obviously you have your main story, but like you get the flashback. Like there's an adventure element to it, right? And like not like a high like Indiana Jones level of adventure, but like one that's actually like relatable to like kind of an audience of all ages. Like the idea of getting stuck out in a desert, while improbable for most everyone that has ever existed, is still like a decently, like it's a possibility. Like it's within your like realm of reality, right? So like going through that, him and Zero developing their bond while he also is like figuring out his family stuff through the process. Zero becoming a part of that family. Very clearly and well executed like bad guys for the film. It's just like so easy to hate all of them.
Yeah.
But they're not like so villainous that it's like any of the comedic aspects of the film are overshadowed by how awful they are.
Mr. Sir.
Yeah, Mr. Sir. And it's just like great heartwarming ending. That's just, man, that's a good movie. And like, yeah, like it's goofy enough, but serious. Like that's what it is. It's the goofy, serious balance in that film that is like, I will show my kids that movie because it's not just like nonsensical BS. Like there's real, like valuable life lessons that kids can learn from that movie, while also just like having that like that it feel like that sense of adventure that's just so easy to feel when you're a kid. And like it brings adults back into that. Like I'm just talking about the movie and I'm feeling it.
You're talking about I want to go and watch it.
Yeah. Now I want to watch all these movies now. These are all great movies.
Facts! Tell us what you thought down in the comments section below. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to have to go watch Holes. You know the routine. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Digging up them holes, digging
I can fix
digging
that.
up them holes. Oh, I love that line. I say that all the time.
No, you don't. I never heard you say that.
I say it to Darby all the time.
Bullshit.